first time seeing this too. Can you hear okay?
Good. Grab the mic, yeah.
Okay, well, I don't want to steal it from everybody else. So, we should first meet the cast. And why don't we start down here on this end with Levy, and y'all just go down and introduce yourselves.
I'm Levy Easterly. I play John Baptiste.
Hi, good evening. I'm Gina Montana, and I was Miss Bathsheba.
My name is Dwight Henry, and I play Wink Doucette.
I'm Shanae Wallace, and I played Hush Puppy.
I'm Lowell Landis, and I played Walrus.
I am Henry Coleman. I played Peter T. in the movie.
I'm Nathan Harrison. I was an associate producer. And I also chased Nazy with the firework. I'm the guy in the red dress.
Also the animal handler.
Well, so one of the things that's unique about this film is that most of the actors are actually not professional actors, despite their amazing performances. Most of the people here were selected for their personhood more than their experience on film. Dwight in particular, I know, has an interesting story that you apparently own. First of all, you have to tell me, what in the world is a buttermilk drop?
It's a pastry. It's a cross between a cake donut and a pound cake. It's a mixture, a combination of both of these things with a rich creamy glaze on top of it, and it's very delicious. You can get them at the Buttermilk Drop Bakery and Cafe at 1781 North Dergenwall Street, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yes. And Dwight is the owner and the...
I'm the owner of the bakery.
Yes. And the story that I heard is that the gentlemen, that the filmmakers and all that, were coming to your place to discuss filmmaking things and were regulars, and then one day just figured out it was you.
Yeah, they stumbled across me. It was a strange story. They used to come over and get breakfast in the morning. The whole production company would come over and get breakfast in the morning. They would get donuts and things. They would put these little flyers in the bakery. If anybody wanted to audition for an upcoming feature film, pull a number and give us a call. So I basically put it in there for my customers. And one day, me and casting director Michael Godwall was sitting in the bakery. So I decided I had a little time in between baking, so I decided to walk over there and go audition for the film. So I went over there and auditioned for the film. I did a reading with him. And then about 2 weeks later, he called me back for a callback. So I went over and I did another reading for him. And about a month later, they was looking for me to give me the part, but no one knew where I was at because I had moved my business. So they had the whole neighborhood looking for Mr. Henry, but nobody knew where I was at. So 2 days after I opened up my new location, Michael Godwall walks in the bakery, and Mr. Henry, you have the part. And I was so flattered and everything. I was overwhelmed with it, but I actually couldn't take the part because I just opened my bakery, so I had to turn it down, and I couldn't take it. So, you know, I had worked things out with my partners and them, and I was able to, after turning them down 3 times for the part reluctantly, I was able to work things out with my partners and go do the film, and it's been wonderful ever since.
And Provinciane also has an interesting story being cast. They looked at over 4,000 girls. So what made you so special?
It was just something that I wanted to try, and I wasn't at the right age, but I did it because my birthday was close.
Yeah, she lied about her age. She said she was older than she was.
Yeah, but it was just something that at a young age, and you're growing, and it's a good thing to do. So it was fun.
And how had you heard about it?
Because my mom's friend, it was just like a regular thing. And she called and said they had an audition at the library, and we are very close to the library, so I just went in there.
And had you ever auditioned for anything before?
No, that's the only thing I auditioned for.
Well, you're doing pretty good all so far, you know. And favorite thing about Hush Puppy? Or do you think of Hush Puppy as just an extension of yourself?
The thing I like about her is how she reacts to everything and how she does things.
I like the way she reacts to everything, the way she does things too. I think she's very special. You must be very special. Because she's very special. Well, since we do have these unique stories about how everybody got their parts, does anybody else want to share something about how they got their part? I mean, I know it was an audition process, but I know that most of y'all came to this.
Come on.
Well, I tell you, I'm Lowell and I played Walrus, and they came to me and said, you know, we've written a part for you. I don't have time, much the same way as Dwight. And ever who it was came and talked to my boss, and the next day he said, whatever time you need is whatever time you need. And you know, what I found so amazing about that film, almost all of us have had some jobs before in our lives, and almost always there's a fly in the ointment. Somewhere along the too much rouge, not enough Chanel number, whatever. Anywho, in this whole flick, all those credits up there, I couldn't find a fly in the ointment whatsoever. It was such a pleasure.
Well, and some of y'all had done a previous movie with Ben called Glory at Sea.
I was in that as well.
Yes, as was Levy. And,
Yes.
yeah, and so compare this
Yeah.
experience with that.
I had just a part, just a small part, and that one, and that was fun, and I enjoyed it, and they really did well. Ben and Michael and all those folks really did well with Glory at Sea, and Levy was in it, and
Y'all should watch it online if you haven't seen it. It's a about 25-minute short film, and it's marvelous. So if you
they
haven't
did
seen
well
it,
with
see it.
that, and it was interesting. It was a springing board. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, and it has quite a bit in common thematically with this film. Not just the cast, but yeah, there's a lot that he's playing with that's similar.
My first experience with the production company was Glory at Sea. I went to audition for that, and then they called me back. And when they called me back, they looked at me like, not thought I'd done everything wrong, but they were looking at me. Then they called me and told me I was the exact person they needed. So I said, it's okay if I yelled over the phone? They said, yeah, so I yelled out over the phone. So when they got ready for the Beasts, Mike came to the school and said they had a part for me. And I said to him, school is going on, man. I can't leave school and work in a movie. He said, why can't you? I said, my students, man, my students. So when he went to the school board and talked with the principal, they made a deal that every day I would film, the production company will pay for a sub in my place. They went well that way.
Wow.
I didn't audition for this movie. He said to me that the part was written exactly for me. So I did it.
Well, one of the things I noticed about both Glory at Sea and this film is there's a lot of theme of water, a lot of theme of self-sustenance, being able to be your own community and take care of your own people. And I wondered if you could elaborate a little bit about what he's exploring there.
Well, I think like a big part of like the theme of both Glory and this movie, I don't work on Glory, but they were really, the stories in a lot of ways came from the place where they were made. It's like Glory at Sea was about New Orleans right after Katrina. This movie is about the southernmost parts of Louisiana where there's coastal erosion and like the land is dying and falling from under you. So, I mean, I guess the thing with water is like, that's just what kind of made the story, you know. It was about probably seeing the land die and seeing her father die and seeing her community die and trying to survive through that. So I think it was about like those places really informing the story and informing the character.
And Ben is not from here, right?
No,
No, it's from New
he's
York.
from New
He's
York.
from New York, but your sister's from here.
No, they're from New York.
You're all from New York? Oh, my
No,
gosh.
No, Liza and Ben are from New
Yeah,
York.
Eliza and Ben, director and his sister, are from Queens. And my sister's Lucy Alabar. She wrote Juicy and Delicious, the play that this is based off of, the co-wrote the screenplay. And we're from North Florida. So, but I think most of these other guys are from pretty close to here.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing, though, that thematically you're so interested, as is your sister, in things that have to do with this community's issues, to do with Katrina and other storms that have come through. And oddly, y'all started filming on the day that the BP explosion happened?
Yeah, we didn't plan it that way. But,
Well, clearly.
yeah, but the day, I think it was April 20th even, something like that. But yeah, and it affected us tremendously. You know, all those shots that were out on the water. I mean, that was land that was like access that when we started the movie we thought we had that was very easy to get to, but BP actually came in and made a staging area right where we were going to launch all our boats for all these water shots. And you know, it just added to the drama. Like we saw the fishing zones being shut down, like getting closer and closer to where we were filming in southern Terrebonne Parish. So and we saw like these people's way of life just threatened by one more thing. Like we thought that it was bad before, and then you have the oil spill, and now it looks even worse. So that kind of played into it, and the urgency of it, I guess, a little.
I actually had another question for Quavenchne about the animals, because it struck me that perhaps you normally hold animals to your head, but I guessed not. So, was that scary?
Most of the things, and one of the things, and most of the things I would do just like a little animal, and I would do that, but to come to the pig, I couldn't let that come on my face. So as you realize, I put everything else to my ear, and I just touched the pig. So I'm not a big fan of pigs. Well, whenever I had to do that part, but now I would just like play with the pig, and it's kind of weird because if you're afraid of a pig, and now you're playing with a pig, so it's kind of awkward. So, but it was fun to do with the animals, especially with the crab. I thought it was going to clip my face, but they told me that you can always put a crab to sleep, so that was.
That's what they tell actors before they have us do dangerous
Yeah,
things.
and they actually put the crab to sleep, and I really was teached that day, so it was very fun to do.
Well, you were a fierce creature too. I mean, I don't see anybody putting you to sleep anytime soon. Well, I'm assuming that at some point y'all have some questions you'd like to ask. Should we open up to the? Does anybody have? Yes.
Quavenchne, is that your name?
Yes,
That's a beautiful name.
thank
Wanted
you.
I wanted to know what your name meant and where it comes from. So actually, two questions. What's your name? Where did it come from? And when did you become the man? At what age did you become the man?
Okay, you're gonna need to split the questions. First question. My name means fairy in Swahili, the Janae part, and it just came from my mom's friend, my mom's friend, and she's back there, she's waving back there. And became a man? That is a good question. I guess whenever I did the movie. And they actually just wanted to have like this father and son moment, but it's supposed to be a father and daughter. But I was comfortable being a man.
Do you have another question? Oh. I'm pointing at you.
I understand films can take a while to produce, so just wondering how long did you guys actually film for? And then after that, how long in post-production, the editorial? You know, maybe this is a better question for the producer.
Well, they started doing writing in like summer of 2009. I think by January 2010, there were like 5 people sleeping on the floor of this gas station that we rented for film studio. I think these guys, filming was like 6 or 9 weeks, something like that. And after that, it took them forever. It was like, I think it was like 2 years or something, like editing and doing music and things like that. Yeah.
Wow. I've just finished working on a movie that started filming in November and will finish in a week. But it'll be released Christmas Day. Everybody go see Django Unchained Christmas Day. So, yes, another question. I can't see everybody's hands. Hold them high. Oh, right back there. Yes.
Way back here?
1 second.
You go up the stairs very fast.
Hello. This is not a question. It's just I love the movie. Great job, guys. It was amazing. I wasn't expecting something like this. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, before you come downstairs.
Raise your hand, please.
Actually, it would have been fun to see him come all the way back there.
Was the location that you had in Terrebonne Parish an actual location that was already there, or was it something that y'all built? Where the city where it was in the bathtub?
It was a little bit of both. There's a town called Pointe-aux-Chenes. There's also a small island right next to that town called the Ile de Jean Charles, and it has like a lot of that feel and a lot of that character to it, and like a lot of those textures. A lot of those sets we built, like Hush Puppy's house and Wink's house, those were all built, but I mean, a lot of those elements were already there. We just kind of moved stuff closer together. Those 2 big huge oil drums that Hush Puppy's little trailer's on, those were already there. It had that feel, but, and a lot of stuff was built, but yeah, they're really unique, interesting places.
Was it an area that had been inhabited before?
Oh yeah. I mean, there've been people living there. It's like a lot of Native Americans, home Indians. The Home Nation is there. They're shrimpers and crab fishermen, and I mean they've just been there for a long time.
Yes.
Come on, Janae, I have a question about the flamethrower. Was it your idea to put the helmet on?
Well, no, I guess that was already in the script, and that was something that was very unique because I actually take it out of the freezer and I just put it on my hair, and I just start firing stuff. So it's kind of bad for a 5-year-old, 6-year-old to be doing a fire to a stove with a football helmet on. So it's very, very weird.
Now you're supposed to save that for Mardi Gras Day, right?
Yeah, that was the most funnest day because that was the first day I actually went in my house. So
I thought it was very unique that y'all both had separate houses.
yeah,
Did you
'cause,
like having your own house?
it explains because at the middle, whenever my dad goes out to the store, he says that I don't want your girly stuff on my side because I want my own side. So that I guess that actually tells why we split apart. So yeah.
Do you have any
Puts
other
duct
questions?
tape while the rain is
Right.
going and it can come apart. So it's very unique of what they do.
Well, and you proved that it's true. There really are a million uses for duct tape.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things with duct tape.
You got a light side and a dark side, and it holds the whole world together.
Exactly. Do we have any more questions?
Where's everyone from?
Okay, I guess I'll start in the middle. I'm from Houma, Louisiana.
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana.
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, originally from the 7th Ward, a longtime resident of Mid-City, and I did audition in my living room in Mid-City.
I'm Louisiana born, Baton Rouge born, lived in East Feliciana all my life, and then New Orleans is my home.
I grew up in the mountains of Virginia, but I call New Orleans home now.
New Orleans is my home.
I'm from Monticello, Florida, but I live in New Orleans too.
My mother's from Houma, so I have a soft spot for that. Do we have any more questions? Oh, well, yes, ladies first.
My name is Anai, and I want to be a man.
You demand. We had some more over here.
So cute.
Hi, I have a question. This film has kind of taken the world by storm, and it's gotten such international acclaim. Does anybody want to comment on the experience of that? Anything you've heard internationally about the film that impressed you, or any experience you had traveling, promoting the film?
I just heard that the director is in Ukraine right now with it, and they love it over there, so that's pretty awesome.
One of the things that I'm enjoying is with all of the accolades, the going to Sundance and the Grand Jury Prize, the Cannes, seeing the cast and then get the Golden Camera Award. My life is very the same and just doing my day-to-day routine, so it's just a wonderful balance to be in such an amazing world-renowned piece of art, because the movie to me was just cinematic art, and when we were making the movie, that was the whole vibrations, was that Ben, under his leadership with the directing and all the actors, the cast and crew, was their primary goal was to create this wonderful original work of art. So I'm enjoying just still being G in my neighborhood, but then on the other hand, seeing everything that's happening. It is truly a blessing from God.
Got a couple more I saw over here.
Can we hear how the two actors Shirley and got involved in the movie? We didn't hear their stories yet.
Well, Levy was in the first one, too.
Yeah, I auditioned for Ben back in 2006. My major in school was theater, and that was way back in the early 80s. And I just started making money doing other things, so I took a 30-year hiatus. After Hurricane Katrina, I decided to get back into acting, stage or film, whatever. And Benjamin was one of the first auditions I went to, and I got the part for Gloria C. And we've had some still young in the business. And so we're growing together, and we've become a family through that, and plan on doing a lot more growing and experiencing with him.
You still wanting to hear stories how we got involved, or?
That's what she wants to hear.
Oh, okay. I auditioned in my living room. I got a phone call from Dan Jamby, one of the producers, and he had contacted my sister, Phyllis Montana LeBlanc. Y'all may know her from Treme. She plays Desiree. And Dan called me. Then I did the audition, and then Ben came over. It was kind of not a long process. I met Michael. They all came over to my house 3 different times, and then I got a call and saying that I got the part and I would be Miss Feshi.
When these kids from New York and everywhere else they came from, right after Katrina, they came down and they were living right pretty close to the quarter. My wife was cooking at a bar restaurant there in the city. Can you come help us make a movie? I don't have time, and I'm telling you, those kids are persuasive, I'm telling you. And, all right. And if it hadn't have been for that, I sure wouldn't have gotten this spot, and for that, I am truly thankful as well. Oh, and she fed them with love. She fed them with love, L-O-V-E, love, and that's one of them kids over.
Way back there. You losing weight on this one.
He needs a raise.
My question is for Enzine, is that right? Did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you like acting enough to continue pursuing a career in it?
Yeah, because it was something that was fun for me and exciting because I get to meet different people, and I got to meet different people that were my ages, so it was very exciting to have and do at my age.
It's exciting to fun and do at every age, I think. Movies are
Well,
pretty
as a
magical.
kid, it's very exciting because at your age, you would never think that you would be able to act. You would just like watch the TV and be like, I wish I was like them. And you would just say, I wish I was on that show. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. So it was something that a little kid would not be able to do, but I did it. I got it. So.
I was the kid that did get it.
I just want to, it's congratulations to all of you. It's phenomenal. Obviously,
I'm gonna stop you for a second and introduce. This is Jeff Dowd. If y'all are fans of The Big Lebowski, this is the dude that the dude is based on. This is the actual real life the dude.
yeah, anyhow, it's very from your sister talking. From your sister, Chesley Hemsfield.
Right.
Others have tried to stop me from talking before Chesley. They were presidents. It didn't work. Anyhow, from your sister and your colleagues, the whole way you researched, told the story, found the cast is very, very unique, to say the least, and very, getting the internal emotion. I'm really interested, I'm sure everybody is here. How did you work with the director, which probably was a lot less traditional in most situations, because some of you weren't professional actors, but also even the mode of storytelling. And, half the time you're doing pure cinema, by the way, which is, you're not talking, like on a TV show, you're acting, and you're just connecting directly in an emotional way. As somebody who has 2 daughters, thank you so much for that. So how did you work with the director? And, some people do table readings, they have rehearsals before, they have rehearsals the day of. Tell us about that process a little. Please.
If you want to call it work, it wasn't work at all. It was very easy. You listen to what the director's telling you, and you do it.
You have rehearsals, for example. What did you let's take a day of the shooting, for example. I want to see.
No rehearsal.
No rehearsal.
No rehearsal. We might have shot the scene, but 2 or 3 times, and different angles and different ways, or try something different. But no, it wasn't like
How about you
rehearsal
then?
of the scene and then shoot the scene. It wasn't like that.
How about you, particularly when you're doing scenes where you're not, it's one thing if you're talking, you're reading the thing, and you're doing a lot of scenes where you're not talking, and just all the, talk to you, how you work with the director, please.
Well, the thing that we do, we would do different things, and we would do, like, we would read the script, and we would just, like, if he thinks that line wouldn't mean anything and it wouldn't do anything, he would just scratch it out and say, just make this face and just focus into what you're doing. Like, whenever the fire exploded, you saw how my face was like worried because it was a fire, and I'm scared because it's a fire and it might burn down. So it's something that my face just got surprised, and it was just frightening, and it just did what it did, and that's what happened.
I think some of her best scenes were the moments where she didn't say a thing and she just got these looks on her face that say so much and express.
It was a little different for me because actually me and the director, he used to actually come to the bakery at nighttime. Actually at midnight at night, he used to come to the bakery and we'll go over practically every scene that I had to do. We'll sit down in the bakery and we'll go over each scene that I will do, and he'll do a thing like Dwight. He'll show it to me in the way he would write, and he'll say, Dwight, how would you say this in the way you would say it? Because Mr. Zalen, he don't have any kids, so he'll ask me a question, how would you do this with your daughter? So I would tell him how I would do it with my daughter, then he would come back the next day with the script rewritten in the way I would say it, not in the way he would want to say it, because he wanted things to come out naturally the way I would say it in my own words. So he would come back with the script rewritten in the way I would naturally say it versus the way he would want me to say it. But we did a lot of script reading, me and Ben, through the course of the night, script reading, changing certain things in the script that I didn't think would fit the way it would come out of my mouth, and he would put it in the way I would say it versus in the way he would want it said. So we did a lot of that. He used to bring in acting coaches in at midnight at the bakery. He'll bring in acting coaches from New York, and we'll work on the script, different techniques that I needed to do and learn, and different emotions that I have to change and things like that. So we did a lot of different things during the course of the night at the bakery, me and the director.
And by the way, I bet you had total emotional truth. I bet you had more bargaining power than anybody in Hollywood. Because, and said, hey, I'd like a few more lines. You want a donut?
It was a lot of that. A lot of that.
Well, I want to thank all of y'all. I thought it was an amazing, amazing film, and I'm sure everybody here had a big emotional ride as I did. I was actually floored by this film and was taken aback at how I couldn't believe I had to come here and ask questions after I was just trying to get my sniffles down, So I want to thank everybody who came. Everybody needs to go get a buttermilk drop.
1781 North Dershowal, New Orleans, Louisiana.
And go see Django Unchained on Christmas Day.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming. We hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to do more of these in the future. We're having an after party. You're all welcome. It is downtown at the Famous Theater. If you've never heard of it before, you do now. They're all going to be there. We're going to party hard.